Let's bring out our guest, Jordan Davis.
I got that deer in the headlight look. She read my face like a corner on the book and said,
How y'all doing? I'm here for you, Michael.
Oh, well, that makes one of you. Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank y'all for being here.
It's good to see you again. Jordan and I had a chat like a month ago, probably.
Yeah, got to catch up. That was awesome.
It was it was a transformative experience for me.
I was just gonna say I was a different person leaving that lunch.
Yes.
So
Wonderful. In case you guys don't know, which I'm sure you do, Jordan is playing the Greek Theater tomorrow night.
yeah, tomorrow night. First time ever.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, first time playing the Greek.
Not even like, have you seen a show?
No, never been there.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy too, because a lot of times you check a lot of those off as support acts, and I've been super fortunate to get to tour with a lot of amazing artists. But we've never played the Greek. So tomorrow night will be the first time being there, first time headlining it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's historic, man. If you you probably shouldn't bring binoculars on stage, but if you did, you could look up and sometimes there's like people out in the trees watching the shows.
Sounds kind of creepy.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. No, but that would. I'm excited. I've had so many buddies that have played it, and it's gonna be a special night.
I think I told you last time they did a big scene from A Star Is Born
Yeah.
at the Greek, which like I can't unsee that now. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So Jordan's new record is called Learn the Hard Way.
Yes,
Is that true? Are you a learn the hard way type of dude?
to a T.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of the reason why this album is called that. I was always that, like growing up, I was like the typical middle child. You know, I never would do anything opposite than my older brother did. And when you do that, you're bound to learn a few things the hard way. And you know, I thought early on like I would move on from that and I would learn. But I mean, even me moving to Nashville, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say that there's still things that I'm hard-headed about and have to learn things the hard way. And then, you know, being a dad, the kids will teach you some things the hard way too. So, yeah, I'm definitely that guy.
What is the dumbest thing you ever did because your older brother, induced you into doing it?
Yeah. Oh gosh, what is this? Oh well, I mean, I'll just. There's a lot in college.
Yeah.
It's probably best that we just leave those in Baton Rouge. There was one Christmas. All right, we were probably, I don't know, 10 or 11, and we got these brand new Dyno GT bicycles. All right, and my grandparents lived on a lake in East Texas, and I'm like looking around at all these like pieces of plywood around my grandpa's house, and I was like, dude, we should ramp these into the lake, because they lived on a hill, and you could go down the hill and then right onto a boat dock, and then we built this ramp at the end of the boat dock, and I was like, dude, we should do this, and my brother's like, yeah, we should do that. That sounds awesome. Let's do it. And I get up there, I'll never forget it. We're both at the top of the hill, and I'm waiting for him to go, and he's like, are you going to go? I was like, oh, are you going to go first? He's like, no, bro, it's your idea. You go first, man. This is awesome. And I about sank my bike. Like, I about lost my bike a day after I got it. And I got in a lot of trouble for that.
It's interesting that I asked you to tell a story where your brother made you do something dumb, and you told a story where you chose to do the dumb shit.
Yeah, but see, I did it because if I would have seen him do that, I would have been like, whoa, that's dumb. We should not do this. But yeah, I guess, hey, you got to learn it the hard way. I did that day. So.
Oh, damn, that's true. Were you a diligent student?
No.
No.
I was a terrible student.
Really?
I was, yeah.
Nigh on terrible.
I always say this about college. Like, I was so close to getting kicked out of there. Like, it was pretty much, I went to school for 5.5 years, which is like terrible.
Whoa.
Victory lap and a half. And I would like to say that, like, it's like, I did change my major a lot, but like, it was because I was failing classes. Like, let's be real. And I changed my major because I couldn't pass the majors that I was in. So finally, I went into my advisor, and I was like, "Hey, what is going to get me out of here the fastest?" And she was like, "This one." And I was like, "That looks great. It deals with outside. I have a degree in environmental science." So I was like, "All right, that works. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when we get through it." So,
Give me a little snapshot of fifth year senior vibes.
well, I mean, you already feel like you're too old to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
So like,
So you're studying
so
basically.
you're studying to get out of there, or I'm working. Like, so I started bartending my sophomore year at LSU, and so, I mean, after year 4, you're kind of like when all your friends are like moved on and have like good jobs, and you're still like in an apartment on campus and like calling them to hang out, and they're like, "Dude, I have work tomorrow." It's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I was just yeah, me too, dude, me too." So yeah, my last like year and a half at LSU was really like work and school.
Did you go from that extended collegiate experience straight to Nashville?
That it sounds better when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Extended collegiate. I was
trying to throw you a bone.
Yeah. No. So I worked. I worked in for an environmental company in Baton Rouge for probably almost half a year, 6-7 months, and my brother is a writer too. So he had already moved to Nashville. So I was like kind of checking in with him and seeing that he was going and playing, seeing all these writers rounds and shows around Nashville. So it was 6 months after I graduated was when I was like, all right, I'm gonna move to Nashville.
You think if he hadn't gone first, would you have gone?
I don't think so. I mean, I truly, my brother played a lot around Baton Rouge when we were in college, so he was always playing bars, and so I'd go hang out with him. And his last year, he kind of started branching away from Baton Rouge and playing in New Orleans and Lafayette and all these places in South Louisiana. And that's kind of when I started writing. But like I never wrote to like play the songs. I wrote thinking that like, well, maybe Jacob's going to move to Nashville and get a record deal and I could write these songs with him. But yeah, if he'd have been like, man, I'm going to stick around South Louisiana, and he was doing really well. So he's like, man, he could have stayed down there and played that bar scene for a while. But yeah, if he wouldn't have moved to Nashville, I don't know if I would have taken the jump.
You got a song on this new record called Louisiana Stick.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was I got a little bit of the Louisiana vibes from that song. Was that important to you to have a song that had some of that flavor of home?
Yeah. I mean, mainly because, New Orleans was really, I think you grow up listening to music, but for the longest time, it's like we listen, and we talked about this last time we were hanging out. It was like you listen to kind of what your dad's listening to, and then you get to middle school and you listen to what the cool kids are listening to. So your musical influences are kind of shaped by other people. Yeah. But I feel like in college was when me and buddies would go down to New Orleans and see, Prez Hall, the jazz band, or a band called the Revivalists that I still love. These singer-songwriters out of New Orleans where I was really like, man, these guys are like doing something totally different than what you're going to hear if you turn the radio on. And I think that was really kind of formative in what made me fall in love with creating music and writing music. So Louisiana Stick was kind of me going back. And I talked a lot on this record of not just wanting to talk about influences, but actually show some of those influences. And Louisiana Stick is definitely that song that I want you to feel like you're in, you're on Frenchman Street in New Orleans listening to some kind of soulful, bluesy jam band.
Yeah. How Marcus King end up on that?
Man, a lot of that is just being such a fan of Marcus. Mm-hmm. When he came out with his Carolina, I think it's Carolina Confessions record, there was a song on there called Carolina that, I just absolutely love. He's got another one there called Homesick that's crazy good. But I've just been such a fan of Marcus for so long that when we went on this writer's retreat, I wanted to write a song that sounded like something that Marcus could do. And so I came in, I had the idea for Louisiana Stick. We ended up finishing it. And I was, I had a buddy of mine that was in the studio one day that worked at my record label, and I played him Louisiana Stick, and he was like, dude, Marcus is such a big influence on this. Just ask him to play on it with you. And that was the first time I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Why don't I ask him to be on it? And I was so honored that he wanted to be on it and just absolutely crushed it. But, yeah, I mean, that just came from me being a huge Marcus fan.
Who would you have gotten if he'd said, nah, bro?
I don't know if I would have. I really don't. Mainly because Marcus was such an influence on that song.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel like it was. And it's really been that way with all of my collabs. I mean, going back to Buy Dirt, Luke was kind of the first person we kind of thought about. And then even I did a song called Cool Anymore with Julia Michaels. And from like day one, I was like, I would love, like, Julia is who we want on this. And it's really, I think if Marcus would have passed, I think I just would have done it solo.
Yeah, yeah. We should talk about Buy Dirt for a second. We'll come back to the new record, but that was such a, seen from the outside anyway, it seems like such a breakout moment for you. Did you, is that one of those ones where you were like, I think there's something about this song when you were cutting it?
Not at all.
Really?
I mean, and what's cool about that one too is like from the demo of the day we wrote that song to what we put out and Luke is singing on are two totally different songs.
Interesting.
So like we wrote it.
It's you and your brother, right?
It's me and my brother and the Jenkins brothers.
Yeah.
Who I probably write with more than anybody. But I had just put an EP out, and so I didn't know what I was doing as far as if I was going to release another record or how long it would be before I put a record out. But Luke was looking for outside songs. And so when we finished Buy Dirt, I was like, man, Luke would crush this song. And we kind of sat around. We had dinner that night, and I was like, does anybody know, like, at the time, I didn't know Luke. So I was like, maybe we send it in and see if Luke would want to record it. And I remember we were in this cabin south of Nashville, and I listened to it one more time before I went to bed, and I was like, there's no way I'm giving this song up. Like, I have to record this song. I don't know when I'm going to put it out, but I'm going to keep it. And that was the first kind of conversation of getting Luke on that.
It's interesting the way that you guys kind of certainly contrasting voices, but complementary voices. You know, with a duet where it's a man and a woman, it's like, oh, of course, I see how this is going to work. Yeah. But with two dudes, it's kind of interesting how you're going to kind of differentiate. You know what I mean? Those
are the hardest songs to write.
It seems like it.
There is no harder song to write than a duet with two guys.
Right.
Like which I think is why you have a lot of songs about drinking, because what else are you going to write about? Like, and you know, it's easy. And I'll say even that with a girl, like with Carly, the Carly song I have on this record, you know, it's got to be like when I first started, and again, Carly's one that is one of my oldest friends. So I've been wanting to do a song with her for so long, but we initially were trying to write something like in the Gunpowder and Lead vein, with that kind of Miranda kind of badass, you know, feel. And
where Carly was going to kill you in the song?
Yeah, it could have been, which would have been awesome. And if you ask Carly, she probably wants to kill me sometime. But like, yeah, it's like it's a difficult task to win over when it comes to a duet with two guys.
Could you write a song about just two bros playing golf? Could you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who would listen to it.
That's the problem.
Or how good it would be.
That's the problem.
But yeah, you could definitely, like, you know, Bogey Bros or something.
Nope, that's not it.
That is not it. As that left my mouth, I realized that was not it.
That ain't it.
Yeah.
I crunched some numbers before we came out here. So you've had, I mean, I was just going to gas you up here for a minute. You've put out 10 singles, according to Billboard, and all 10 of them top 10s.
Yep. This is crazy. Thank you.
Country radio has been a real home for you.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you remember the first time you heard your song on the radio, driving around, whatever.
Yeah. I was in Houston, Texas. We were in a Sprouts parking lot.
Where a
lot of things happened. A lot of firsts happened at that Sprouts parking lot. No, I was in there, and it was with Miranda McDonald, who at the time was one of my radio reps, and we were waiting to go to this dinner that evening, and it was at somebody's house, so like we had to go to. She told me we had to go to Sprouts to like get something, and I was like, okay, and so I'm just sitting in the parking lot, and we'd parked, and we were in this space. She knew the song was about to be played. And so I'm sitting in the front seat just kind of like, are we going to get out or like, and I just didn't say anything. And I'm kind of sitting there and like right as I was about to be like, Miranda, what are we doing? Like, why are we here? Singles You Up. That was the first time I ever heard it on the radio. It played after the Carrie Underwood Before He Cheats
Oh, that's cool.
song. Yeah. I still remember like it rolling out of that into the opening lick of Singles You Up and me just being like, wait, I've heard, what song is this?
Yeah.
And then it kind of had to register. But yeah, that was where I was at.
First off, I love that you, cool country music guy, rolling around the country, just sitting in Sprouts parking lots, waiting to buy stuff to take some guy's house.
Well, that's what like I can't.
Is that
remember.
real? What life is?
Yeah, I can't. It was like toothpicks or something that she was like,
Sure.
we got to stop and pick this up. And I was like,
Seems very important.
Why don't we need this? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny. One of my faves from this new record is "Turn This Truck Around,"
Oh, thank you.
which I feel like is just a beautiful bit of wordplay, right? Spoiler alert, I guess. The idea, turn this truck around. If you kids don't shut up, I'm going to turn this kid around. But then it becomes about a woman that I don't want to get drawn back in, but I'll turn back around. That's my little recap of the song.
That's it.
Is that? I think you are really, really good at that kind of wordplay. I see it in your music a lot. I wonder if like turn this truck around, like walk me through how the idea of flipping that phrase kind of came out.
Yeah, that was with Devin Dawson, Josh Thompson, another one of my favorite writers. Devin had the idea, turn this truck around, and when he said it, it immediately like triggered my dad saying that exact. Me and my brother fighting, going to school, or going somewhere, and him turning around and being like, "Hey, knock it off, or I'll turn this truck around and we'll go back home." And I always say the joke, like a lot of times we would be going to like school or church, where like me and my brother would look at each other like, maybe we should keep fighting. 'Cause we don't really, being at home would be a lot more fun. But that was the initial thought of it. And obviously I knew that like, there was nothing that, I can't write a song about that. Like, but I think trying to tackle either nostalgia or I think for me, the power of like getting over a heartbreak or like actually being able to cut off the on off again relationship kind of thing. I feel like that's a pretty powerful message. It makes I think we've all probably been there, and I think it makes the person presenting the song relatable. So that's how we kind of twisted it. It's like, man, we can't have this guy heartbroken, but we have to make this guy know that if he does turn this truck around, he's in a world of pain. So we got to keep him going.
It's a beautiful, dramatic setup. I'm gonna quote you here.
Yeah.
To you. I'll run it clear to California if that's what I got to do to get me straight to getting over what I'm overrunning to. It's like, damn, man, that's really, really beautiful phraseology. How last time you and I talked, we sort of talked about how it's just funny that like at night you're a musician guy who's up on stage being cool. In the day you're just like literally like a nerd, like with a notepad,
100%.
doing cool words.
Or yeah, like sitting there thinking about stuff and putting them in your phone and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How hard is it to get the words to go? I mean, to get me straight to getting over what I'm overrunning to. That's a really beautifully done. How intricate are you? How long does it take for one of those kind of like little phrases to come together?
I'm pretty. I can be pretty tough in a writing room when it there's always a cooler way to say stuff.
Okay.
And I think that was a lot of like some of the writers that I grew up or kind of came up through Nashville writing with, they were always like, yeah, we could have said like, to get me straight to outrunning the memory of you.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it works. There's a cooler way to say that. And when you finally get to the point of like everybody in the room is beating their head against the wall being like, I don't know, man, I don't think there's a cool way to say it. It's like, okay, well then that's right. And it's like always kind of trying to twist something. And the 90s country, the country era that I kind of grew up with, my dad listening to songs like On the Other Hand. I mean, the wordplay was something that always drew me to country music. So that's what I feel like I fight for the most in the writing room.
I'm gonna spring this on you. This is a little pop quiz here.
Oh God, I told you I was a bad student, but
That's why I'm doing it, man. All right, so turn this truck around. That's like one where you flipped a kind of a popular phrase, but you brought a new meaning to it. I'm going to give you 3 popular sayings here. You got to tell me like which one lights up your brain. Which one are you like, oh, that's the one I want to flip to write a song.
okay,
All right, and then you got to write it as we sit here.
okay, yeah.
Cheaper by the dozen, cry over spilled milk, or a penny for your thoughts. Which of those might be like a cool thing to flip into a song?
You can go cheaper by the dozen. You could be like cheaper by the dozen of beer, or
Sure.
you could like twist it into that.
Oh, that's good.
Cheaper by the dozen on Bud Lights on a Friday. Something ain't cold. Missing you's getting old.
Damn.
But I find that that's standing down and this is how I write songs too. I do that. I guess it's cheaper by the dozen getting over you. Like dozen of beer, something like that. You can do something like that. What was the second one? Spilled milk?
Cry over spilled milk.
I might ask for another idea on that one. I might be like, I don't know about cry over spilled milk. Penny for your thoughts.
Penny for your thoughts.
Penny for your thoughts.
Hit us with that.
I'll take a penny for your thoughts, a nickel for your tears, a dime to see if I don't really, or a dime to see if maybe I'm missing you right here. And it'd take all the quarters in the world to bust that ain't it do. If I'll take a penny for your thoughts and all the quarters in the world to love you. I don't know, something. Anyway, you'd have to do something with pennies, nickels, dimes. You'd have to like kind of roll it out.
I feel like I got to tell the people that we didn't plan that.
No, we did not. I think you could hear it by the
Bar None, that's your current single.
Thank you. Thank you.
A song you didn't write.
I did not.
So for a songwriter, I'm always interested, like, I mean, you know what a good song is. You know what good song is for you because you write most of them for yourself. Here's one you didn't. Walk me through hearing it and saying like, yep, this is a song for me.
Yeah. So I got that in a text message from my manager, and it just said like, "Hey, listen to this." And I listened to it. When it pops up, I see Bar None, and immediately, what we just did is like when you hear an idea like that, you're like either penny for your thoughts, whatever. You're kind of like, all right, how do they do this? Like, how do they twist this? So when I see Bar None, I'm like, dadgummit. How did I not think of Bar None? Still did not know how they wrote the song or how they hooked it. But listen to it. It gets to the chorus, and it's like, Bar None, now I'm getting gone, and then your long gone boots. And I'm listening in my truck, and I'm like, okay, nothing I'm working on works on you. Breaking every bottle open, doing what a banged up, broken heart does. Don't need 3 or 4 more. Baby, if moving on, have a scoreboard. And I'm just listening to it. And then he goes, it'd be you and your memory one. And immediately I'm like, son of a bitch. And then he says the hook, and I was like, dear God. Yes. I had to like stop it, and I totally missed the whole second verse because I was like, how did I not write that? How? It was right there. But that's what draws me to songs that I don't write, where you're just like, God, it's so well done. That's like the first test that it has to pass for me to cut outside songs. And I haven't cut a ton. I've probably cut 5 or 6 outside songs. But it has to be that my first thought has to be like, damn, I wish I would have wrote that. And Bar None was definitely that. And it's just a hit. I love that song.
You probably not fun to listen to music with in the car.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like my buddies I never get the aux cord.
No.
Because like if we are, we'll be at like the beach.
Yeah.
And, they'll be playing all kinds of stuff. And then I'll grab the phone, I'll grab it and play like Jason Isbell or like, something that is like not supposed to be played at the beach.
Right.
And all my buddies are like, dude, why did y'all give Jordan the aux cord? Just get him off of it. But yeah, I'm not a fun guy to play DJ.
Especially because then you're out here doing damn songwriting seminars. People are just trying to have a good time.
I know. Or I'll be like, dude, you've got to hear this song. Like my buddies will do that where they're always like, because most of the time it's not like a upbeat fun song. I'm like, dude, you've got to hear this song. They're like, dude, I don't want to hear sad music right now. Stop. I don't care how well it's written. I don't care. I'm not listening to it. So yeah.
You told me about a bartender who laid a insane couplet on you. I think you should tell the people what this guy told you.
Yeah, and I've still been trying to write it because I've written this song 2 or 3 times. And it is the saddest song known to human history. I mean, it is. But I was talking to this bartender.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I know. It like, for me, I love it. But you play it for somebody else, and they're like, good night, bro. Are you okay? But I was in, we'd had this was years ago, and I was in a hotel bar, and the bartender comes up. This real cranky bartender. And he comes over, and he's like, can I get you anything? And I was like, yeah, man, I'll take a, whatever, beer or something. I was like, how are you doing, man? And he's like, I don't know if I'm living longer or waiting to die. And he said that, and I was like, oh, shit, that's really good. And he just walks back to get the drink, and I'm grabbing my phone. I'm putting it in there, texting my co-writers, the normal co-writers I have. I'm like, guys, I got this idea called Waiting Longer or Living Longer or Waiting to Die. We got to write this. And just crickets. Yeah. They're like, I think we can find something better than that. But yeah, I'm still trying to write that in a way that's not so deathy.
I mean, literally no way.
No, you can't.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he lives longer. Maybe we twisted on that.
Well, that's true.
That's going to take some tweaking.
That's going to take some doing. You said that John Prine is your songwriting goat.
Yep. He's the best.
Just give us a tight 2 or 3 minutes on Prine. Why is Prine the guy for you?
Yeah. Again, goes back to the first time I ever heard John Prine music was with my dad. And he played a song called The Great Compromise. And Prine was a Vietnam veteran and had his opinions on it. But this whole song is just this really kind of odd story that he's talking about some girl that he takes on a date, and then she leaves and goes and gets in another person's car and drives off. And as an 8-year-old, you're like, what is this guy talking about? And my dad explains to me, what he thinks the song's about. And that sent me down. I was like, oh, so wait a second. That's not what he means by that. And that was kind of the first time the light switch got turned on as far as storytelling. And then it just grew from there. Late John Garfield Blues is another one of my dad's favorite songs. But it was just this, and I think a lot of this is, Prine was never, I don't know if anybody was ever going to say that he was this amazing vocalist. Yeah. But he was a true storyteller, and that's really what just started my love for Prine, and it just got better the more records he released. But yeah, I always say when it comes to songwriting, he's the best to ever pick up a pen. I
think one of the things that distinguished his work so much was that he thought to write about songs about shit that nobody else was writing songs about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about Hello in there. Like, why did you think to write that song?
Yeah.
Like, nobody, it's amazing.
There and like his, so many Bruised Oranges is a record that I've always loved, but his ability to tackle so many different topics.
For sure.
And I don't know, there's one of his last songs he recorded, the last song on his track list. When I Get to Heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, just gut punches me.
Yeah.
And Hello in there, I mean, that's in my opinion one of the best songs ever written, the most heartbreaking, and like, he had a gift. He's a special human.
Did you get to meet him before he passed?
I never got to meet him. I've been to more John Prine shows than anybody I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
So here's the weird thing, and I'm kicking myself for not doing it. But there's a place called Arnold's in Nashville. It's like a meet and three, like a diner. And apparently every Wednesday he was in there. And a friend of mine that told me that, he's like, dude, go in there. Like, he's awesome. Like, you literally just go in there and say hello and tell him you're a fan. And for some reason, the only reason why I didn't do that is because people said, like, don't meet your heroes. And I remember one day when I was sitting there and I was like, I'm going to go in there and meet John Prine. And I was like, no, dude, don't. Like, your entire love for songwriting is based off of this one guy. And if you walk in and he shoos you off or, like, tells you, like, hey, man, I'm eating my pot roast right now. Could you leave me alone? Yeah. It would shatter me. Yeah. And I'm kicking myself for never doing it.
I like that, like, the guy, it's like the guy that you were afraid to talk to is like this kindly older man.
And dude, and that's what makes me even more mad is like now that when I tell people that story that knew John,
yeah,
they're like, you're an idiot. He was the sweetest guy in the world.
Right.
Like, just, you should have gone and said hello. But yeah, I wish I would have.
So if you've seen Prine more than anybody else, who's number two? Who have you seen the second most shows by?
Second most, man.
You can approximate.
Probably Eric Church.
Sure.
Yeah, Eric Church. And another one that's up there is Amos Lee. I'm a big Amos Lee fan.
Oh.
So I've seen Amos pretty good bit.
What do you like about Amos?
Man, the soul. He's kind of in that Marcus kind of world.
Yeah.
Where there's just a lot of heart in it. This is actually an embarrassing story.
Great.
So he was playing a show in Lafayette. I was this might have been year 9 of me in college. No, it was like one of my.
You were basically a professor.
Yeah. It was one of my last years at LSU, and he's playing this theater over in Lafayette. I got a bunch of guys to go over there, and we're all out there. It's probably 500-600 people, and there's a song that he has called Sympathize, and I've loved it. It's just like super stripped down, acoustic, just beautiful lyric. He sings the hell out of it, and I am hammered, all right? And I am just screaming in between songs, hey, play Sympathize. Like, Amos, play Sympathize. He goes into one song, I'm like, Sympathize, and he stops the whole show. It points right at me and was like, I'll make a deal. If you shut up, I'll play Sympathize. And dude, I felt like I was that tall. And then like everything in my brain was like, dude, tell him how big of a fan you are, man. Like, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stop. And I never said anything. He'll probably see this now from somebody, but yeah, if he remembers that was me, Amos, and that was my bad. I won't do it again. I haven't done it again at any of your shows. But yeah, man, I'm still a big Amos Lee fan.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was terrible. Because then it happens like you're out there and like all the people around you give you the look like, you idiot, what are you doing, man? Yeah. And I almost left. I didn't. I stuck it out, but it was pretty rough.
Man. Thank you for sharing that humiliating tale. We're going to do a little bit of audience Q&A.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take a minute, and then Jordan and his band are going to come back and play music. Oh, yeah.
He's been waiting for a question over here.
All right. So we got a mic out here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Although you don't seem like a man who needs a mic.
Now I have one.
Oh,
Hey, pleasure to have you guys here, honestly.
Thank you very much,
Pleasure.
man.
My wife and I, she's sitting right here, this blonde, with all of our friends.
I
Our
see her.
favorite song is Next Thing You Know.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's kind of our story.
Oh, that's awesome.
Next thing you know, you wake up, you got a baby, now he's going to college. Did you write that?
I did.
What's the experience behind that?
Man, so I have my oldest daughter is about to turn 6, and that first year of me being on the road, we do 100 to 150 days a year on the road, and those first couple years, newborn to 2 years old, they change so much, and I remember getting home one. I'd been gone for 2 weeks, and I remember getting home and being like, dude, that's a totally different child. And it just kind of broke my heart. And I walked into a writer's room one day, and a buddy of mine that I wrote that song with, I told him that story, and he's like, man, you don't need to miss those things, because next thing you know, you're going to have one going to college, and you can't get those days back. So that's how that song started. I appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you very much.
yeah. I thought that question was going to go sideways for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I was like, where are we headed here?
Okay.
No, it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
That was awesome.
Beautiful. Oh, it's going sideways. All right, here we go.
Mine's kind of an extension of that.
Okay.
For Next Thing You Know, I go to USC, California.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
always wondered, is it South Carolina or California?
Which one do you think it is?
I hope California.
Yeah.
It is?
But do you know why we did USC?
Why?
Because they're both on both coasts, so it works
Okay.
either way.
That's why I was wondering.
Is that not terrible to say that, like, but we were sitting there, I'm an LSU fan,
Uh-huh.
so I was like, LSU's too far, and they were like, it's really not that far, man. And I was like, well, I guess you're right. So we were like, well, what works? And we were like, well, we can do USC. And then a buddy of mine was like, South Carolina or Southern California? And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I've always wondered. I also have one more thing. I'm going to see you tomorrow night. If
Yeah.
you have any extra songs you want to slip in, I'd love to hear More Than I Know or Dreamed I Did.
Oh,
or
my
Dreamed You Did.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's a day one fan right
I
there.
know. Well, I've seen you twice before, and I've always hoped you would sing them, but no. I one
More
time went to Dierks Bentley strictly for you and left after your opening.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I love Dirks, but that makes me feel good. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you.
No, I love Dirks to death.
Hang on, I'm her dad. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Oh my God, this family is shooting their shot.
Yeah.
I like it.
So when you get a song to sing by another writer, do you tweak it or you have to keep it?
No, I mean you can tweak it. You can kind of make it. A lot of times they'll, tell you fix whatever you want on it. I've never had to. I think that's another one of those tests that it has to pass, where it's kind of like, oh, because I've heard a lot of songs that are like 90% there, and you're like, man, that second verse is kind of weak, or like maybe if they did this. But yeah, everyone that I've recorded that's been outside has been. I've recorded what they wrote.
Wow.
Didn't change it.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to try to play those songs, even though I can't remember the first lyrics of those songs at all. Okay.
Yeah, how about you in the cowboy hat here?
I've seen you twice. One time.
Thank you
was
so much.
The first time with Dierks at the same venue. I seen you on Thursday, and you are amazing.
Thank you.
Love your dedication to your fans. Who would the next collab be that if you could choose of anybody you haven't already been with?
Oh, man. I don't even know. It is weird because I feel like the song kind of has to, it's hard for me to like I was saying, pick a song and be like, all right, who would work on this? And you try to find it. You kind of have to have somebody in mind. There's a lot of, in the country world, there's a lot of like up and coming artists. Vincent Mason is one that I'm a huge fan of. It's out on tour with us. And then I mean, I've always loved Ashley Cook. We've always talked about doing something together. And then like outside of the genre, I mean, Alicia Keys is the most talented, like, that's the most talented singer, songwriter, instrumentalist, whatever you want to call it. Like, she is, it'll never happen, but a guy can dream, huh? You know? If anything, I got to tell you how much of a badass Alicia Keys is, as if you didn't know. But, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I know, I thought I had to cancel a show because I got sick. That's what I thought he was going to be like, hey, man, you owe me $280. Sorry.
Okay, so I know you have 4 kids, right?
Yeah.
Out of all 4 of your kids, what song do they not like that you sing? 'Cause kids are the funniest. They just like pick something they're like, oh, I don't like that.
Let's see. My daughter loves "Singles You Up." My oldest daughter. I think just because like that was kind of when she was born. That was like my big song. My youngest boy, he loves "By Dirt." He loves to hear that. And it's funny because they tell Alexa to play Dada, and so they just scream at her. They're like, play Dada. And they're like, we don't have that artist. Play By Dirt by Dada. And you have to go over and be like, hey, Alexa doesn't know who Dada is. Like, so my oldest boy, he's my 4-year-old. I don't think he's a fan, if I'm being honest. He doesn't listen to a lot of my stuff. He could care less. He does like, the one song he does like is Turn This Truck Around. But he's also obsessed with trucks. So like to get to Lachlan, you just say truck. And he's like, oh, I'm in. But that's the only one he likes of my song. So Singles You Up by Dirt, and Eloise Singles You Up. Eli is By Dirt, and Lachlan is Turn This Truck Around.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that.
wow, look at this.
Hey. I'll tell you, you talk about a turn of events.
Yeah, wow. Incredible.
A turn of events from, is this? Oh, that's good whiskey.
Salud.
Yeah. That's a good man right there.
That's a legend. That's a Grammy Museum legend.
Dude, seriously, when I saw his hand go up for the first time, I was
Yeah, I'm
like,
saying.
that guy was in Sacramento when I had to cancel that show, and he wants to punch me. And look at that. He just bought us a bourbon. Yeah. If
Incredible.
anybody was there, I am very sorry.
Yes, you over here. If there's a mic handy, sorry, I picked the furthest possible person.
We're going to do this is the last question.
Okay.
Hi. First of all, I do song promo, so thank you for being rad because you kind of helped me do my job.
Thank you.
So I had a tiny little itty bitty tiny part in helping promote Bar None, which I love.
Oh, no way.
So-
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. One of my favorite songs on the new album is What Jesus Wouldn't Do. And this is less of
Thank
a
you.
question, more of like, I don't know, just wondering if you've thought of this idea. But for your song that you were talking about, the bartender, and I don't remember the phrase you used, but the living longer or waiting to die.
Yeah.
Would you ever choose that as a song of faith or anything having to do with that?
Oh, that gum. Maybe we should go in the green room and write that song real fast. That could definitely, that's actually a great way to go about it. Yeah, Jesus Wouldn't Do is probably my most personal and, I mean, my favorite song off of this album. Had to go through a lot of screw-ups to get to it, but no, I've definitely always leaned on writing about my faith, and I definitely could see my faith being a topic if I do write that one. But now I got to give you a songwriting credit on it because we all saw it. So, yeah.
Welcome
that's
to
awesome.
LA, baby.
I know, right? Hey, you know, yeah.
Hey, man, I want to thank you, Jordan. It's been a fun time. You're an insanely rowdy crowd. It was
Absolutely.
really
Thank y'all so
fun.
much. Thank y'all.
Jordan's going to take a minute, and then they're going to play music.
Good man, Michael. Thank you.